like this, now be small drama they happen for the Nigerian lifestyle. So based on oil matter, wahala. Now yeah, all of us day yesterday evening, where former militant leader Asari Dokubo fall out for national TV, the grand press conference. Now Asari Dokubo now come out, the point figure, he could declare say, now some people for Nigerian military and Nigerian Navy, now they packet our Nigerian oil.
99% of oil theft can be traced to the Nigerian military, the army and the navy especially. The army and the navy intimidate the civil defense, who are by status the people who are supposed to guard these pipelines.
Hey, he not say after Asari Dokubo talk you finish. Bay! Now Nigerian Navy come out to reply and say, Baba, not to the carry they talk way up and down. So Asari Dokubo, if you not say you they sure of what you talk about, I beg mention names of people where they engage in oil theft. Hey. Wahala. Now between Nigerian Navy and Asari Dokubo. But they wait me Asari Dokubo come mention names of people where in talk say they pack in Nigerian oil. Big. He not again inside the same press conference. Asari Dokubo called the assure Nigeria and the Presido. Say man, make them not worry, make no fear. Say in. And guys saying they give assurance, say they go secure Nigeria oil.
Myself and my brothers, I assure the president that there will be zero oil theft and vandalization in the Niger Delta. We are going to work with NNPC, PCL, and the IOCs to make sure that oil theft is brought to zero.
Auto say who you be. We don't score this country now. Different things. Nigeria come and say Nigeria now. Things they happen upside down. Normally, in the Nigerian Navy or the military, that's supposed to give us this kind of assurance. Say, don't worry, we will secure oil, we will secure the. Nah. Now, ex-militant leader, now they give us assurance for national TV. They declare, say, he go protect this one, go do that one. Big. He not say this money, so. Now, the former president of Ijaw Youth, yes, now. Now, the guy fall out for national TV. He can't reaffirm waiting Asari Dokubo talk. Say, man, he say he get some people, from some officials for Nigerian military, where we say their hand not pure. Say they get local refineries where they take packet our oil based on one or two. But if I talk because I side over the yarn myself, I will like when I watch the video now of this, when this former president of Ijaw Youth come out, call they talk in so call they confirm waiting Asari Dokubo talk. Anyway, when they watch this video from here, I beg, I go like as they watch them. Comment your opinion on how you reason this matter. So I just drop. So after you comment, don't forget to also share the video. Make other people get interest for this matter. Who they talk so, may they watch them. May they go talk on how they reason this matter. So anyway, just thank God for everything.
Let's start this way. Who should be in the position to be giving the federal government and indeed Nigerians that assurance coming from Asari Dokubo that oil theft and vandalism in Nigeria will be brought to zero point? Who should be giving that assurance?
Well, ordinarily it should be the Nigerian military, but you know what's happening in the country. Everybody is now left to fend for himself. People provide their own security, people provide their own amenities, people provide their own ways of life. So as it stands, everybody is struggling to survive. There's no more hope in the Nigerian military. What Alhaji Asari said yesterday, a bit today, it's not news. If sitting governor has said it in the past, the Ijaw Youth Council over the years have always talked about it. You hear allegations of people paying so much money to be posted to the Niger Delta, and then when you post them to the north, some of them go AWO and things like that. So it's not news. This everybody knows. You go to the Niger Delta, an area in between Abia and River State, you will be shot at if you go and stop the military from doing what they are doing. Yes.
Are you
All
saying
these allegations are not new to anybody in the Niger Delta.
You're saying the entire Nigerian military is culpable, is complicit?
No, I can't say, I didn't say the
or
entire.
there are a
No.
few bad eggs.
Well,
but the question is, why has it really, remained an intractable problem, this oil theft? When you consider how much Nigeria loses, well, we're told, trillions,
My dear,
2.3 trillion within 10 months before April of 2023. Why has this remained intractable? Is this factor right now that we're hearing that the Nigerian military is complicit?
Well, no, there are economic issues.
Because we even heard from Tom Polo
My dear,
that federal government knows those behind oil theft.
Look, I don't want to further make allegations, but right from the top, aside from the military, there are a lot of people that are involved. People own vessels in this country that are specifically bought to participate in oil bunkering. Let me tell you, there was an incident where the Tantita, this Tompolo's organization, caught a vessel. And as I speak to you, there are allegations of soldiers who went there and arrested even the Tantita staffs and ensured that that vessel was released. A lot of people know about this. So the point is that if you come to the Niger Delta, we all know those. In fact, there are some military agencies that own their own local refineries. Before the last president had to dissolve a task force, there were accusations of various security agencies owning their own local refineries in the Niger Delta. And that's a huge work that Tantita, through Tompolo, has been able to do to cleanse the area.
So how much difference really has that even made
well, you have seen the
securing
increase.
the oil pipelines in the Niger Delta? I mean, we heard from former President Buhari, who actually condemned the fact that warlords are the ones protecting Nigeria's oil pipelines when we have capable military. In the words of former President Buhari.
Well, you know that the corruption in Nigeria is such a way that you cannot just isolate one aspect of our society and expect it to work. The corruption have eaten deep. What is the welfare package of military officers? What of the Niger Delta people who produce the oil? What is the response of government towards the people of the Niger Delta? All these have accumulated to a quest for survival by the Niger Delta people. So the people on their own part will do anything, both compromising and working with security agencies to ensure that they survive. So you cannot isolate one aspect, and that's why we're saying that if you're going to fight corruption, you need to be holistic and then ensure that the welfare package is properly done. Yes, I agree that the Niger Delta people can do the security better, but it's just going to be a stopgap measure. If you want a lasting solution, then you must ensure that the refineries are functional. $1.5 billion was collected to revive Port Harcourt refinery. Nobody is talking about that. Once the products are not available, the Niger Delta people will look for alternative means to produce these products. At the time, government was even talking about putting the artisanal miners in the Niger Delta into cooperatives so that they can work with government to create an economy in that environment and then keep these young boys engaged. That committee worked to an extent before they abandoned it. Not forgetting that in the north, they are illegal miners are put together and working with government in some states in the north. So if you, in one country, have two different laws, then people will begin to take laws into their hands. For us to be able to solve this problem, government must ensure that the refineries are producing.
Udegs, are you bothered, if you heard him clearly?
Yeah.
Are you bothered that Asari Dokubo just said that the Nigerian army are claiming that they don't have enough armaments to fight oil theft and vandalism in Nigeria? Does that bother you?
Well, for me, I know that the issue of corruption is a problem here. Over 3 or 4 billion. At the time, 1 billion was taken to buy arms. You saw all the airplanes that were coming into the country, helicopters, ammunitions that were coming in. Several times you've heard of the NSA trying to clear ammunitions that have come into this country. The truth is that there's complicity around the fight, the terrorism war in the country, where bigger nations, our neighbors, and Western nations are all involved. We have had several situations where, in this country, we forget so quickly. There was a time where UN facility was invaded by the Nigerian army because it was suspected to have been housing a particular terrorist leader. So you can see that the complicity is coming from all angles in the gold war.
So, but do you think there's a political will really to address this once and for all?
Well, I think
especially on the part of government.
I think that we have a new leadership in the last 16 days that have actually shown that they are prepared to deal with the issues. We just hope that this tempo will be sustained to the point where the real issues will be dealt with. I believe that since we have a leader who understands most of these things, of course he has been long enough to know who to deal with. Hopefully, things will be better than where we are coming from. What are those real issues,
very quickly before we go, what are those real fundamental issues?
Well, first of all, the issues of corruption, the welfare of
I mean, you made that point. Apart from that, are there
the economic issues in the country?
Great.
Yeah, once you are able to deal with the economic issues, the power issues, then Nigerians will begin to have some level of confidence, and then you will see the support from the public coming up to give information necessary for the country to move forward.
Talking about public support, earlier while you were talking, you mentioned the fact that you also believe that the people of the Niger Delta can better fight. Let's talk about local communities engagement. How better can the locals play active roles in fighting this menace?
Look, let me tell you, the federal government signed the PIA, the Petroleum Industry Act, into law. In that PIA, 3% is supposed to go to the communities. As we speak, the NNPC have not done the job of educating the community to understand their role and, of course, the benefits that will come out from the 3%.
Are they even getting the 3%?
If the community, it's not law. It's signed into law. From that minute, that money is accumulated somewhere. If the community people know that, look, we are going to be getting 3% from the operations in my environment. By 12 o'clock, so amount of oil I've left my place, so 3% of it will amount to $3,000, $30,000. No community will allow anybody infringe on oil facilities in their environment.
Maybe that is where people like you come in.
So you see,
Udengs will have to live it there.
I agree with you, but you need to educate the people. While government is also doing its part of ensuring that the refineries are functional, so that the products will be available to Nigerians.